Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a complete deep dive into a new AI video tool called Vidvo. Now, it's been making some serious waves online, but the big question is it really the game changer it claims to be? So let's dive in and find out.
But first, to really get why tools like this even exist, you have to look at this number. Just this year, a mind-blowing 85% of all internet traffic was video. I mean, think about that. Video isn't just king anymore. It's the whole kingdom. And that incredible demand is exactly why we're here talking about this today.
Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. Literally, creating traditional video is a huge ordeal. You need cameras, actors, studios, not to mention hours and hours of editing. It's really expensive and it's slow. So how on earth are businesses and creators supposed to keep up?
Well, that's where this AI video revolution comes into play. What we're seeing right now is a huge shift. Artificial intelligence is just tearing down all those old barriers, making it possible for pretty much anyone to create professional-looking videos. Just think about it for a second. No more gigantic budgets for equipment or film crews. AI is quickly becoming the engine that's powering this whole new era of content, and it's giving us speed and scale that we could only dream of just a few years back.
So, with that in mind, let's get to the main event, Vidvo. It's one of these new AI tools that says it can solve that exact problem we just talked about. So what's the deal? What's the promise?
Okay, so at its core, Vidvo is an AI platform that's all cloud-based. Its main job is to take things that aren't videos, like a script, a text document, or even a single photograph, and magically turn them into actual, moving, dynamic videos. Now, Vidvo's first really big promise is something they call hyper-realistic motion. And we're not just talking about a mouth moving up and down. What they're saying is their AI can create genuinely natural facial expressions, little head movements, and gestures. So imagine an avatar in your ad that doesn't just talk, but actually raises its eyebrows to make a point. That's the kind of realism they're going for.
And then there's this second big promise, universal anything-to-video conversion. And that is a really bold claim. It means you can feed it pretty much anything you've got, a photo, some text, even just a website link, and Vidvo says it'll spin that into a complete video. I mean, just imagine what you could do with that. You could turn an entire blog post into a video in just a few clicks.
So, who's this really for? Well, it looks like they're casting a pretty wide net. You've got digital marketers who need to pump out video ads like crazy. Then there are content creators making TikToks and YouTube shorts. Of course, businesses can use it for training videos and promos. And even agencies can use it to offer video services to their clients.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and take a look at the features that actually make this thing run. What's the tech that's supposedly making all these big promises a reality?
Well, the whole process is designed to be super simple. First, you just give it your starting point, your image, your script, whatever. Then you get to customize it with different AI voices and play with the motion settings. And finally, you hit render. And they claim you can get a finished video in less than 60 seconds, which is just incredibly fast. And this is huge if you think about it. The platform supports over 100 languages, with lip syncing that actually matches. For anyone trying to build a global brand or reach an international audience, that is an absolute game changer. No more hiring dozens of voice actors for different regions. Now here's a really big selling point. A lot of these AI tools, they kind of nickel and dime you with a credit system. You pay for every single video you make. Vidvo seems to be going a different route with an unrestricted model. For anyone creating tons of content, being able to make as many videos as you want without constantly checking your credit balance, that's a massive, massive advantage.
Okay, but a tool is only as good as its competition, right? And the AI video world already has some heavy hitters, like HeyGen and Synthesia. So, how does a newcomer like Vidvo actually stack up against them?
Right off the bat, the biggest thing you'll notice is the price. Vidvo's pushing a one-time payment model, while the big guys are all about those recurring monthly subscriptions. And while HeyGen and Synthesia are famous for those super polished professional avatars you see in corporate training videos, Vidvo is really betting on its motion technology and its budget-friendly price to win over creators and marketers who need to produce a ton of content.
All right, so we've looked at the promises, the features, the competition. What's the final verdict? Is Vidvo actually worth your time and, more importantly, your money? Let's break it down. Let's try to be balanced here. On the one hand, the pros are pretty compelling. That one-time payment and unlimited production, that's a huge win. The anything-to-video idea is also incredibly powerful. But, on the other hand, there might be a bit of a learning curve to really master it. And, like a lot of these tools, to unlock its absolute best features, you might need to look at some of the optional upgrades.
And speaking of those upgrades, let's just quickly define OTOs. You've probably seen these before. They're one-time offers. After you buy the main product, they'll offer you some extras. Things like an agency license so you can use it for clients, or a bunch of pre-made templates. You don't need them, but for some users, they can add a lot more power to the platform.
So, to wrap it all up, here's the bottom line. Vidvo seems like a really powerful tool for anyone whose job it is to make a lot of video content and to do it fast and without breaking the bank. So if you're a marketer, a social media creator, or run an agency, it is definitely worth a look.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. As these AI tools get more and more powerful, they're handling all the technical stuff. Does that mean our role shifts? Does it free us up to just focus on the creativity, the idea, the script, the strategy? It really makes you wonder what our most important job will be in a world of automated content.